Have you ever wondered how a tiny silver can of sweet, medical-tasting liquid grew to dominate the global beverage market, selling over 11 billion cans a year? If you walk into any convenience store on Earth, you'll find Red Bull sitting prominently on the shelves, priced significantly higher than its competitors. But behind that Charging Bull logo lies a mind-bending corporate secret that changes everything you think you know about modern business. Red Bull is not an energy drink company. In fact, financially and logistically, Red Bull does not make drinks at all. They do not own a single manufacturing plant. They do not manage a single canning factory, and they don't even blend the liquid formula themselves. If you look past the giant marketing curtain, you realize that Red Bull is a hyper-aggressive, multi-billion-dollar media empire and sports conglomerate that simply uses a highly marked-up beverage to fund its true passion, adrenaline. To understand how this massive illusion works, we have to look back to the 1980s when an Austrian marketing executive named Dietrich Mateschitz traveled to Thailand. He discovered a cheap, local syrupy drink called Krating Dang that truck drivers and factory workers used to stay awake. Recognizing a massive gap in the Western market, he bought the international rights, carbonated the liquid, altered the flavor, and launched it in Europe. But right from the beginning, Mateschitz made a radical operational decision that completely defied standard business logic. He decided that Red Bull would completely outsource the actual production of the drink to a third-party Austrian bottling giant called Rauch. By entirely eliminating the massive overhead costs of factories, machinery, and warehouse logistics, Red Bull freed up nearly every single dollar of its revenue for one solitary purpose: psychological warfare through marketing. They realized a brutal rule of consumer behavior. You cannot build a global monopoly by selling a generic 25-cent can of sugar water based on taste. You have to sell a feeling. Red Bull pioneered a concept known as adrenaline alignment. Instead of running traditional, boring television commercials telling you what ingredients are in the can, they poured billions of dollars into buying the most extreme, dangerous, and high-octane assets on the planet. They bought multiple Formula One racing teams, extreme stunt plane leagues, professional football clubs, and sponsored athletes who pushed the absolute boundaries of survival. Every time a human being jumps from the edge of space, crashes an extreme mountain bike down a cliffside, or flips a dirt bike over a stadium, the Red Bull logo is plastered over every square inch of the broadcast. This creates a powerful, subconscious psychological hack inside the human brain known as the halo effect. By constantly associating their logo with peak human performance, danger, and ultimate courage, your brain completely rewrites the value of the product. When an average consumer buys a can of Red Bull, they aren't paying for cheap caffeine and sugar. Their brain genuinely believes it is purchasing an injection of confidence and high-status adrenaline. This psychological trick allows Red Bull to charge a staggering 300% markup on a product they don't even manufacture. They created an elite, global media agency disguised as a soda company, converting a basic commodity into a premium cultural badge. The beverage is merely a liquid business card designed to fund their massive sports empire. And the craziest part of the entire machine? Every time you crack open a cold can to get through a late-night study session or a long drive, you aren't supporting a beverage company. You are funding a high-tech racing team and a media network, completely trapped by a brilliant illusion where a drink that doesn't actually exist in their own factories conquered the entire world.